Hi guys, it's Rachelle here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be building and organizing my book cart. I've been thinking about getting one for the longest time and I finally decided that it was time to buy myself one. I've just seen so many people with a book cart and I love how they organize their physical TBR on it, so I decided that I wanted to do that myself and that's why I bought a book cart. So in this video, I'm going to be building my book cart and organizing my books on it, so let's just get into it. I'm so excited! Okay, in the box we have the instructions, and then we have one of the tiers. We have a second tier. We've got the sidebars, some screws and a wrench. We've of course got the wheels. Next we've got more parts. I don't know what these are. We've got two more that kind of look the same way. We've got another two bars. The last thing is the third tier. Okay, let's start building it now. No, there are no words in the instructions. It's all pictures. I'm a book girly. I need my words. This is not cool. Let's just see how this goes. Step 1. Okay, so I think I first attach these bars together. These two are different sizes, so I think one is the bottom, one is the top. I'm going to assume that the longer one is the one at the bottom. So it goes like this. I bought myself the screwdriver set a while ago because I thought it would be useful at some point, and I never used it until now, I guess. I'm so glad that I'm finally getting a use out of it. One done, one more to go. Step 2. I am using these bent rods. That was easy. Step 3 is to put all the rods together. Step 4. I am finally putting in the tiers. One done, two more to go. Here she is! Okay, now let's move on to organizing some of my books onto this cart. So, in front of me here, I have all the books that I own but I haven't read yet. It's my physical TBR. We have two stacks here. I'm gonna put all these books on this book cart. I want to organize this book cart by genre. I don't know what genre I want for the top shelf yet, but I know what I want for the middle shelf for some reason. So I'm gonna start with the middle shelf. On this middle shelf, I want to put all my fantasy books. Okay, so the first book going on this shelf is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Crescent City series. I already read the first book and I loved it, and this is the second book and I want to read this soon actually. But I don't know when I'm going to read it yet. Next in fantasy, we've got Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't know what this book is about, but that goes beside Crescent City there. The next fantasy I have is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I've never read a book by Olivia Blake before. This would be my first, and I'm so excited to read it because I believe it is Haley fan that loves Olivia Blake, and she really recommends her books, so I'm excited to give it a try. I honestly love getting book recommendations from other booktubers out there. Okay. The next fantasy I have is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I was gifted this book, and when I got it, I've actually never heard of this series before, but I think recently it's been really popular over Book Talk and BookTube, and I see it everywhere, so now I'm excited to read this book. Hopefully it will end up on my monthly TBR sometime soon. The next fantasy book I have is actually a series. We've got the Hush Hush series. The first book is Hush Hush. Second book is Crescendo. Third book is Silence. And the fourth book is Finale. I don't particularly like these covers. They're kind of ugly to me, but I heard the story is really good, and that's what matters most. The next book I have here is Serpent and Dove. I believe this is the last fantasy in my physical TBR. I believe this is a fantasy with a strong element of romance in it, and I think the romance is between a witch and a witch hunter, which is such an interesting pairing, so I'm excited to read this one too. This one's gonna go here. Looking at my physical TBR right now, I only have one sci-fi book, so I think I'm gonna put it in the same row as the fantasies, just to make this shelf look nice and complete. The one sci-fi book I have is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This second shelf is complete now. Okay, so I have about like 10 books left to put on this book cart. I don't have a lot of books on my physical TBR like a lot of other people do. A lot of people have like more than 100 books on their physical TBR, but I only have like 20 or so because I get overwhelmed if I have too many unread books on my bookshelf. So because I don't really have a lot of books on my physical TBR, I think I can fit the rest of my books on this bottom shelf of my cart, and then for the top shelf, I'm just gonna leave it empty for now. But on this top shelf though, I plan to put my monthly TBR on it. So every month I will have a new set of books on this top shelf. Okay, so the first few books that I want to put on my bottom shelf are my books that are from Aardvark Book Club. We got Desert Creatures by Kay Chronister. I believe the genre of this book is horror. I don't really like reading horror, so I don't know when I'm going to pick this up. The next book I have is The Key to My Heart. This is a holiday winter romance. I want to read this in December when it's close to Christmas. I think this will just be a nice cozy romance to pick up during that time. The next book I have is a historical fiction called The New Life. I believe this is a queer story, and I think a good time to pick this book up is during Pride Month next year. It's just gonna sit right here on my book cart for now. The last book I have from Aardvark Book Club is Gilded Mountain by Kate Manning. The cover of this book is gorgeous. I love it. Next to my Aardvark Book Club books, I'm gonna put my one mystery thriller, and this book is titled The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I've never read a book by Riley Sager before. This would be my first. I've heard nothing but good things about this author, so I'm so excited to read one of his mystery thrillers. The next book I want to put on this book cart is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, but I want to pick up this book closer to the winter because I think this book takes place in December. The next book we have here is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I honestly don't know what this book is about, and it's been on my physical TBR for so long. It's probably been on my TBR for 2 years now. The last literary fiction book I have in my TBR is A Little Life. I heard this book was so incredibly sad. I think in order for me to read this book, I really need to be prepared for all the content that I'm gonna read. I read the trigger warnings of this book, and it literally hits every single trigger warning out there. It's gonna sit right here. I only have 2 more books left to put on my cart, and these are both classics. The first classic novel I have is Emma by Jane Austen. I picked up this book once a while ago, and I read like a chapter of it, but I wasn't really prepared for the vocabulary and the language you would usually find in classic novels, so I ended up putting it down. I definitely think I'm gonna pick this up at some point though. The last book I have is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I have a thing for vampires. I don't know why, I just like them. So I guess that's why I bought this book a while back ago. This book might be a good book for me to pick up closer to October when it's almost Halloween. and that goes here. So here we have my finished TBR cart. It's so neat and organized. I'm kind of proud. I like having all my unread books in one place. It's just so much easier to see what books I still need to read. Before, I would mix up all the books I've read and haven't read on my bookshelf, and you can easily miss an unread book. Anyway guys, that is all I have for you in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me build my book cart and organize it as well. I definitely had a good time filming this video, and I am so excited to use this new book cart in my future videos. You know it's definitely gonna make an appearance in my monthly TBR videos. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel while you guys are at it. And I guess with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Pull the key out the ignition. Run your mouth but I never listen. You hold me back, will never last. Keep talking all your shit. Wondering how all this started. You left me broken hearted. You flip my words, yeah, this love hurts. Keep talking all your shit.